And good morning. Welcome to Kurt Berglund's Baseball World. Today we are continuing our theme week of the 1973 New York Mets. We are replaying the 1973 National League Championship Series between the Reds and the Mets. We are up to Game 3. I won't spoil Games 1 and 2 for you, but they are on my channel. And today we use as-played lineups, of course, wherever possible. And today is no exception. Our pitchers today were the Game 3 starters in real life. Ross Grimsley, the left-hander for Sparky Anderson's Cincinnati Reds, will be opposed by Jerry Koosman, the left-hander for Yogi Berra's New York Mets. This is Game 3. It's a best-of-5 series, as they were back in those days. And so let's get to the starting lineups. We are using the Replay Classic cards and dice simulation for the series. Welcome. Don't forget to check out my Twitter, which is KurtBerglund14. I'll put the information for that in the description for this video as well. And also don't forget to check out the Universal Baseball Association Lounge, which is on Facebook page where I post all of my stuff as well, along with the Tabletop Sports Facebook page where I link all of my videos as well. So thanks for coming. Let's get to today's starting lineup. We are in Shea Stadium today for Game 3. The visiting Reds lineup looks like this. Pete Rose leading off in left field. Joe Morgan will bat second at second base. Tony Perez will bat third at first base. Johnny Bench will bat fourth. He'll be behind the plate. Andy Cosco will bat fifth. He'll play right field. This is our one change from the actual lineup. I don't have an Ed Armbrister card, so we're using Bobby Tolan in center field today. He will bat sixth. Dennis Menke will bat seventh. He'll play third base. And Darrell Chaney will bat eighth. He'll play shortstop. On the mound, it's Ross Grimsley, the 23-year-old left-hander. All right, for the homestanding New York Mets, it's Wayne Garrett leading off at third base. Felix Meehan batting second at second base. Rusty Staub batting third and right field. Cleon Jones batting fourth in left field. John Milner batting fifth at first base. Jerry Grody batting sixth. He'll be behind the plate. Don Hahn batting seventh. He'll play center field. Bud Harrelson will bat eighth. He'll play shortstop. And Jerry Koosman will be on the mound for the Mets. All right, so we are ready to go. This is Game 3 at Shea Stadium. The date is October 8th, 1973. Pete Rose stands in against Jerry Koosman, and the pitch to Rose is a 37 in column 1. That's grounded to Felix Meehan. He's going to throw to John Milner, and there's one away in the first inning. Here's Joe Morgan against Koosman. The pitch to Joe Morgan is ball 4. So he takes his base. And Koosman gonna hold him close. Perez up, 1 out, 1 on. The pitch to Tony is taken for strike 1. Morgan is off with the pitch. Grody's throw down to Felix Meehan is not in time. Morgan steals second. And the Reds have a man in scoring position with 1 out. Perez behind in the count, 0-1. The pitch to Tony from Koosman is grounded to Bud Harrelson. He's up with it and throws to Milner for out number 2. Morgan will hold at second, and that'll bring up Bench with a chance to give the Reds an early lead. Pitch to JB is a base hit for Bench. 1-0 Red. Oh, wait a minute. Let me double check. Gotta double check that one. Yes, he will score, and that is a 1-0 Reds lead. Cleon Jones' throw goes into second, and Johnny Bench comes through with a clutch 2-out base hit. Costco up now. Koosman's pitch to him is a 34 in column 5. Hey, struck him out, and that gets Koosman out of the first. The Reds get a run on a hit and leave one. It's 1-0 after a half an inning at Shea. Ross Grimsley had kind of a up and down relationship with manager Sparky Anderson, and he will face Garrett, Meehan, and Staub in inning number 1. Lefty-lefty matchup. This one is hit on the ground by Garrett to Daryl Cheney. Cheney's up with it and throws to Tony Perez for out number 1 in the bottom of the first. Felix Meehan up now. Pitch to Felix is a 33 in column 3. It's a line drive right at Costco. Played perfectly. 2 gone in the bottom of the first, and it's Staub. Grimsley's pitch to him is a 26. And that's going to be corked over Costco's head. 1 hopping the wall. Staub with a 2-out double. And Cleon Jones with a chance to tie the score with a base hit. Grimsley the stretch. The pitch to Cleon is a 23 in column 3. It's hit to center and deep. Bobby Tolan on his horse, and he's going to get there for out number 3. That ends an interesting first inning for Ross Grimsley. We've played 1, and it's 1-0 Reds. Koosman gets Tolan, Menke, and Cheney in the bottom, or in the top of the second. Excuse me. So we'll see what the Reds can do about adding to that lead. Koosman winds and delivers to the disgruntled one, Bobby Tolan, and there's a base hit for him. He's on with a single, and Menke comes to the plate. Koosman the stretch, and the delivery is a 5 in column 3 that's hit near to right field. Rusty Staub coming in and makes the catch for out number 1. Daryl Cheney up. Koosman the stretch, and the pitch to Cheney is a 23, and that's hit to center. Don Hahn on the run, and he will get there for out number 2. Koosman not fooling anybody so far, but he's hanging in there. Tolan's still at first. The pitch to Grimsley is a short fly. Cleon Jones coming in and makes the catch for out number 3. So Koosman not dazzling anyone, but he's holding his team in the game. It's 1-0 after an inning and a half. Milner, Grody, Hahn for the Mets in the bottom of the second. Grimsley winds and delivers. That is a ground ball to Daryl Cheney. He's up with it and throws to Perez for out number 1. Grody from Grimsley. Hit in the air, dying quail. Andy Costco sprinting in and makes the catch for out number 2. Here's Don Hahn. 2 outs, nobody aboard for the Mets. And this is to center and deep. Bobby Tolan on his horse will catch up to it and retire the Mets in inning number 2. So after 2 complete, it's 1-0 Reds on the strength of a Joe Morgan walk in the first inning, steals second, and scores on a bench single. So it'll be Rose, Morgan, and Perez in inning number 3. Koosman winds and delivers to Pete Rose. Ball 4, he walked him. Leadoff walk. Here comes Morgan. Koosman the stretch, and the delivery to Joe is a pop-up Drifting into foul territory, Felix Mian calling and taking for out number 1. Perez is 0 for 1. Rose still at first. The pitch is a 44 in column 2. It's a comebacker. It's a comebacker knocked down by Koosman. Picks it up, throws to Milner. Rose advances to second, but now there's 2 outs in the Reds' 3rd inning. First base is open. Bench is due up, and Costco is on deck. They're going to walk bench and go after Costco. Costco struck out in the 1st inning. Koosman, the stretch, and the delivery is, hey, struck him out. 2nd strikeout for Koosman, and it was Costco both times. He gets out of the mini jam, and the Reds don't score. After 2.5, it's 1-0 Cincinnati. Or if you're Sparky Anderson, Cincinnati. Or if you're Milo Hamilton, Cincinnati. All right, so bottom of the 3rd, Harrelson, Koosman, Garrett. 8-9-1 for the Mets coming up. They're going to try and tie the score. It is a base hit for Harrelson. He's on with a single. That's going to give Koosman something to do. And pretty predictable. So the Reds infield is going to play in at the corners. Grimsley the stretch, the delivery. Koosman squares to bunt. It is bunted at Grimsley. Grimsley's defense is a 1. He gloves it and flips to Morgan covering first, and the sacrifice works as Harrelson advances to second with 1 out, and Garrett comes to the plate. He's got a chance to tie the game now. Grimsley the stretch, the pitch to Garrett, who is 0 for 1 in the game so far. This is a 22 in column 3, and it hit to center. Under it is Tolan in left center. Harrelson will hold, and there's 2 outs now, and Felix Mian comes to the plate. Felix is 0 for 1. The pitch is an 8 in column 6, and that's a base hit to left field. Around 3rd is Harrelson. Rose's throw cut off by Menke, and Mian ties the game at 1 with a single. That scores Bud Harrelson from second base. And we're knotted up at 1 in the bottom of the 3rd. Rusty Staub coming to the plate now. 73 Mets week is what we're doing. Our replay of the Mets 1973 NLCS. Staub doubled in the 1st. The pitch from Grimsley is ball 4. He walked him, so there's 2 on now for Cleon Jones. 2 on with 2 outs. Mets can take the lead if Cleon comes through. Grimsley the stretch, and the delivery is a 17 hit to Menke, who is, I believe, a 2. He is. That's a 19. He gloves it to his left. He plants and fires to Perez to end the Mets' 3rd. But the Mets get a run on 2 hits and leave 2. After 3 innings, we are tied up at 1 in Game 3. Tolan, Menke, and Cheney coming up in the Reds' 4th. 6, 7, 8 batters against Jerry Koosman. Tolan is 1 for 1. The pitch to him is a 32 in column 3. Line shot, hooking away from Cleon Jones toward the line, but Cleon gets there, and there's 1 down. Menke comes to the plate. He's in for Dreesen today against the left-hander Koosman. The pitch from Koosman is a struck him out. Number 3 for Jerry. 2 gone in the 4th. And now it's Cheney 0 for 1. On deck is Grimsley. The pitch from Koosman is hit on the ground to Bud Harrelson. He's up with it and throws to Milner. And it's Jerry Koosman's first 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th. We're all tied up at 1. Got a good one going at Shea Stadium today. October 8th, 1973. Grimsley is back out. He will face Milner, Grody, and Hahn in the bottom of the 4th. 5, 6, 7 batters. The pitch from Grimsley is hit to right and deep. Andy Costco back, warning track, wall, and it's gone. A 2-1 lead now for the Mets on a solo homer by John Milner, who hit 23 on the 1973 season. Grody is 0 for 1. Base hit for Grody. Grimsley may be starting to lose his stuff a little bit here in the bottom of the 4th. Sparky Anderson on the bullpen phone. And Ed Sprague and Roger Nelson are going to start to throw, a pair of right-handers in the Reds bullpen. Hahn is up. He's 0 for 1. Grimsley the stretch and the delivery to the Mets center fielder is a base hit to left field. Drops in front of Rose. Pete charging it hard. Does he fumble it? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Rose, it's off the heel of his glove. Now he runs it down. Grody gets to third. Hahn gets to second on the E7, and there's still nobody out. Harrelson up 1 for 1. Is Yogi Berra going to put a play on here? Koosman is on deck. Grimsley the stretch. Checks the base runners. The pitch home. He's not bunting. It's a pop-up. Joe Morgan in foul territory will take it for out number 1. Now it's Koosman with Grody still at third and Hahn on second. The Reds are going to play their infield in. They're going to play in. So Grimsley to the stretch again. The pitch to Koosman. He is swinging away. Hey, struck him out. Struck him out. That's Grimsley's first strikeout. He picked a good time for it. Yogi, with the infield in, took the squeeze off, and there's 2 outs now. Big insurance runs on second and third for the Mets. Grimsley facing Garrett. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. Grimsley home to Garrett is a ground ball hit to Menke. Dennis gloves it and throws to Perez, and the Mets strand 2. But they take the lead at 2-1 on the leadoff homer by John Milner. So Grimsley gets into and then out of trouble in the 4th. We go to the 5th. It's 2-1 Mets. And Grimsley will lead off the 5th inning. Grimsley, Rose, and Morgan, 9-1-2. The pitch is grounded to Felix Mian. He's up with it and throws to Milner for out number 1. Here's Rose, 0 for 1. Pitch to Pete. is hit on the ground to Felix Mian. That's a 10, and that is in the dirt. Milner can't dig it out, so Rose is safe on the bad throw by Felix Mian. And that'll bring up Morgan, the potential lead run in the ball game. Rose at first, 1 out, top of the 5th, 2-1 Mets. Joe is 0 for 1. The pitch to him is to center and deep. Hahn back, warning track, wall, and gone. 3-2 Reds on the strength of a 2-run Joe Morgan bomb in the top of the 5th. Here comes Perez. Now Gil Hodges, yeah. Yogi Berra pacing in the Mets dugout, but no action yet in the bullpen. Perez up, 0 for 2. The pitch from Koosman is a base hit for Perez. Now the action's going to start in the Mets bullpen. Ray Sadecki and Harry Parker, lefty-righty double-barreled action, just the way I like it. Going in the top of the 5th. Double play situation. Bench at the plate. Koosman the stretch. The pitch to Johnny is a 23 in column 2. It's a comeback. No, it's not. It's hit on the ground to Milner. Milner's going to feed Koosman covering, and they retire bench as Perez moves to second. So with 2 outs and a man in scoring position, it's Costco. On deck is Tolan. Andy has struck out twice in 2 at-bats so far today. Ground ball, Milner one more time. Gonna feed Koosman, and that will retire the side. But the Reds get 2 runs, only 1 of which are earned, but both count. And they take a 3-2 lead. We're halfway through this one, and the Reds lead 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. So Grimsley gets a new lease on life. It'll be Mian, Staub, and Jones. We got a good one going at Shea Stadium in Game 3. Mian is 1 for 2. The pitch from Grimsley. 33 in column 3 is a line smash at right fielder Andy Costco toward the line, and he gets there for out number 1. Staub up now, a walk and a double on his ledger for the day. This is hit on the ground to Cheney. Now, Darryl is a 3. That's a 19. It's a 22. It's past him into the outfield. A base hit for Staub. He's got his second hit of the day, and so with 1 out and 1 on, it's Cleon Jones. The Reds' bullpen starts to go again. It's Sprague and Nelson. Jones is 0 for 2. The pitch to Cleon is to right and deep. Cleon going the other way. Back is Costco. No bringing it back. It's gone. A 2-run bomb for Cleon Jones. And they're throwing haymakers at each other. The Mets now lead 4-3. And Sparky gets back on the phone to the bullpen. A 2-run homer by Cleon Jones, scoring Staub ahead of him. We're in the bottom of the 5th. It's Mets 4, Reds 3. Game 3 of the NLCS. What a ball game. Milner up. Lefty-lefty matchup, so Grimsley stays in. The pitch to Milner. Oh, we got to flip. Sorry, forgot this. We got to flip Grimsley's card to the B side. He is now fatigued. We got a 40 in column 1. And that's grounded to Perez. Tony's going to take it himself to the base, and there's 2 gone. Now it's Grody. He's 1 for 2. The pitch from Grimsley is ball 4. Out of the dugout pops Sparky Anderson. He has seen enough, and that's going to be the end of Ross Grimsley's day. Roger Nelson is going to get the call. We'll tell you about Grimsley. He goes 4 2/3. He allows 2, 4, 6, 8 hits. He walked 2. He struck out only 1. Didn't have his good stuff today. And has allowed 4 runs to this point. He is on the hook for the loss. Grody could be run number 5 charged to Grimsley. Roger Nelson is on. He is a right-hander acquired from Kansas City by the Reds. He has an endurance of 9 hitters before fatigue becomes an issue. Hahn is 1 for 2. Grody is at first, and there are 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Nelson, the stretch, and the delivery to the Mets center fielder is a 34. And this is corked to left. This is going to get over Rose's head. And one hop the wall. Grody on his horse, if there is such a thing, for Jerry Grody, and he's coming home. Grody, Rose's throw to Cheney. Cheney whirls and fires home to Bench. Bench blocks the plate, and Grody is out at the plate. 7-6-2 on the putout at home. But the Mets score 2 on 3 hits. They leave 1 after 5 complete. The Mets retake the lead with the score. Mets 4, Reds 3. Now Koosman has a lead to protect again. We'll see if he can hold serve. Tolan, Menke, and Cheney, 6, 7, 8 hitters. If anybody gets on, it'll be Roger Nelson's spots. It'll be interesting to see what Sparky may do. We're in the 6th inning, top of the 6th. Mets 4, Reds 3. Great game. Tolan up, 1 for 2. Hey, struck him out. There's 4 strikeouts for Koos. 1 down. Now it's Menke. Dennis is 0 for 2. The pitch from Koosman is hitting the air to right, but not deep. Rusty Staub under it and takes it for out number 2. And now Darrell Cheney, 0 for 2. He's had a good series, though. And this has popped up. Jerry Grody throws away the mask and takes it in foul territory, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jerry Koosman. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Mets lead 4-3. Roger Nelson back out. He'll face Harrelson, Koosman, and Garrett in the bottom of the 6th. Harrelson is 1 for 2. The pitch to Bud is a pop-up. Darrell Cheney on the infield dirt, calling and taking for out number 1. Now Koosman has an endurance of 6. Yogi's going to go to the bench. Yogi Berra going to the bench. He's going to call upon, in an effort to get some insurance, or as they say in Central Illinois, insurance. It's going to be Ron Hodges to pinch hit for Jerry Koosman. Koosman goes 6 innings. Let's check Koosman's numbers here. He goes 6 complete. He allows 4 hits. He walked 2. He struck out 4. He allowed 3 runs. 2 were earned. He's in line for the win. All right, so the pinch hitter is backup catcher Ron Hodges, who did a fair amount of catching when Jerry Grody was injured with a broken arm. Yeah. So with one out in the bottom of the sixth, Hodges bats for Koosman. In the bullpen is Ray Sadecki throwing for the Mets, and Harry Parker as well. So one of those two gentlemen will take over in the top of the seventh. Hodges up, the first at bat in the series. The pitch from Nelson is hit on the ground to Darrell Chaney. He gloves it and throws to Perez for out number 2. And Garrett comes to the plate. Nobody aboard. Garrett's 0 for 3. The pitch from Nelson is a line smash grabbed by Menke. So Nelson does his job in the sixth with a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the top of the seventh. It's 4-3 Mets. We got a good one cooking. So we're going to have a pinch hitter for Nelson. There's nobody out of the Reds dugout yet. Tom Hall is throwing in the Reds bullpen, so it looks like he will be the next Reds pitcher in the top of the seventh. The new Mets pitcher is going to be Ray Sadecki. He will bat in the 9 spot. Harry Parker stays loose in the Mets bullpen. Sadecki, a 32-year-old left-hander, he has a fatigue of 9 hitters that he can face before that becomes an issue. And with the left-hander on the mound, let's see who Sparky Anderson will choose for his pinch hitter. And he's going to go with Dave Concepcion, who, of course, can fly if he gets on base. Getting on base in 1973 was a little bit of an issue still in Dave's career. So we'll see what happens here for him. Sadecki against Concepcion. On deck is Rose and then Morgan. All right, so Sadecki winds and delivers to the Reds shortstop. It's a 23 comeback. No, I'm sorry, ground ball Milner. He's going to feed Sadecki covering, and Concepcion is retired for out number 1. Now it's Rose, 0 for 2. Sadecki winds and delivers to Pete. And that is hit on the ground to Garrett at third base. Wayne's defense is a 3. He gloves it. He fires to Milner, and there's 2 down in the 7th. Now it's a lefty-lefty matchup. Sadecki against Morgan with Perez on deck. Joe hit a home run in the 5th to give the Reds briefly a 3-2 lead. The pitch from Sadecki to Morgan is ball 4. That's ball 4. And out of the dugout pops Yogi Berra, and he wants the right-hander Harry Parker, who has struggled in the series, but he's calling on him anyway. It's going to be Parker to face Perez. Sadecki is done after 2/3 of an inning and a walk allowed. Parker is a right-hander. And now, as you might suppose, Tug McGraw starts to throw in the Mets bullpen. Parker has a fatigue of 8 batters to face before that becomes an issue. Perez is up. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Morgan's at first. Perez takes the first pitch, and off goes Morgan. Grody throws down to Mian, and it's late. So Morgan steals second. And for the second time, he's in scoring position with a stolen base, just as he did in inning number 1. So 2 outs, Morgan at second, Perez up, bench on deck. Parker the stretch, and the delivery is hit to Mian. Felix up with it, throws to Milner. And that retires the Reds in inning number 7. It's time to stretch them out at Shea. And it's Mets 4, Reds 3. Good ball game. Man alive. Game 3. Tom Hall is coming in. He will face Mian, Staub, and Jones. And if anybody gets on, Milner. Starting to throw in the Reds bullpen is right-hander Clay Carroll. Mian 1 for 3. The pitch to Felix from the blade, Tom Hall. Ground ball, Cheney. He gloves it. He throws wild to Perez, who can't dig it out of the dirt, and Mian is on an E6 by Cheney. That'll bring up Staub. Mets fans liking this. Bottom of the 7th, 4-3 New York. Rusty has had a perfect day so far, 2 for 2 with a walk. The pitch to him is hit to Perez at first base. Tony is a 2 defender. That's a 17. That makes him a 19. It's off his glove, rolls toward Morgan, but Joe's got no play. Rusty Staub with an infield hit. Mian advances to second. There's 2 on, with nobody out for Cleon Jones, who hit the home run to put the Mets ahead back in the 5th. Reds infield at double play depth. Hall the stretch, and the delivery to Cleon is ball 4. Bases are going to be dripping with Mets. Reds infield comes in. Milner comes to the plate. Lefty-lefty matchup. Clay Carroll is ready in the Reds bullpen. Milner 1 for 3. Hall's pitch to him. Cork to right. Back goes Costco. On the warning track, he will make the catch. Tagging is Mian, 5-3 Mets. Tagging is Staub, he goes to third. Costco's throw comes into second. And Milner hits a big sacrifice fly. Out of the dugout pops Sparky Anderson. He wants Clay Carroll to stop the bleeding. And so he's waving to the bullpen with his right arm frantically. Tom Hall's day is done. 1/3 of an inning. 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 run, but it's not earned so far. 2 more runners are his responsibility on base. Clay Carroll comes on. He was the short man for the Reds, hard thrower. 1st and 3rd for the Mets. The Reds infield remains in. It's Staub at 3rd and Jones at 1st. 5-3 Mets, bottom of the 7th. Grody up. 1 for 2 with a walk on Jerry's day. Carroll the stretch. The delivery is hit to Cheney. Staub breaks on contact for the plate. Cheney gloves it. He's up with it. He fires to bench, who applies the tag, and Staub is retired at the plate. Grody is safe at 1st. Jones is safe at 2nd. So there are 2 outs now, and runners at 1st and 2nd for Don Hahn. Clay Carroll trying to hold the Mets where they're at. It's a 5-3 Mets lead with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Hahn is 2 for 3. The pitch from Carroll is ball 4. The bases are loaded again, and the Mets with a tremendous opportunity here if Bud Harrelson can come through. Bases loaded, Jones at third, Grote at second, and Hahn at first. 2 outs. Carroll the stretch, the delivery to Bud Harrelson. Popped it up. Tony Perez calling and taking on the infield grass, and that retires the Mets in the 7th. They settle for 1 run on 1 hit, but leave 3. We go to the 8th. It's Mets. Mets 5, Reds 3. Harry Parker coming out to face at least bench. McGraw is ready in the Mets bullpen. Bench 1 for 2. 5-3 Reds, or 5-3 Mets, top of the 8th. The pitch to Johnny is a base hit for the Reds catcher. Center field drops in front of Hahn. Here comes Costco. They're going to let him bat, because if they go to the left-hander Geronimo, then that brings in McGraw. So they're going to let Costco bat. He's 0 for 3. Parker the stretch, the delivery. Hey, struck him out. Costco gone for the 3rd time. He's got the hat trick. Tolan up. That's going to bring in McGraw. Here comes Yogi out of the dugout. And Tug will be called upon here in the top of the 8th with 1 out to, in all probability, try and go the rest of the way. So McGraw is on. Left-hander, of course, can face 8 hitters before fatiguing. He's got a lefty-lefty matchup here against Tolan. Now Sparky has 1 right-handed hitter left on his bench. And that's Bill Plummer. And that's not a pretty picture. So Tolan will bat. He's 1 for 3. Bench at first, 1 man out. McGraw's pitch to the center fielder today for the Reds is a line drive into left field, sinking. Cleon Jones with a nice play. There's 2 gone. Now it's Menke who's 0 for 3. The pitch from Tug is grounded to Mian. He's going to go the short way to Harrelson covering, and that will retire the Reds in the 8th. So they threaten but don't score. We go to the bottom of the 8th with your score. Mets 5, Reds 3. Tug McGraw is due to lead off the bottom of the 8th, and that's exactly what he's going to do. One of the things that you'll notice if you watch the 1973 Mets playoff games on YouTube, which, by the way, are extremely entertaining, but Yogi let his relief pitchers hit a lot. So Tug is going to bat here. I didn't double switch for that very reason. So Tug's going to lead off. And we'll get to the top of the order with Garrett and Mian. Clay Carroll's still on. The pitch to Tug. Hey, struck him out with the broccoli cauliflower medley. Gas. Now it's Garrett. 0 for 4. Carroll winds and delivers. That's popped up. Foul territory. Joe Morgan one more time. Takes it for out number 2. And here's Felix. 1 for 4 for Mian. Hit on the ground to Darrell Cheney, who's up with it and throws to Perez, and that will retire the Mets in inning number 8 in 1-2-3 fashion. So we go to the 9th. Reds need 2 to keep it going. The score, Mets 5, Reds 3. Very, very good game. Cheney, a pinch hitter for Carroll, and Pete Rose are due in the 9th. Cheney's been hot in the series, but I'm going to hit... No, I can't hit Plummer for him. Yes, I can hit Plummer for him. I do have another shortstop. So Plummer is going to bat for Cheney to lead off the 9th against McGraw. Dreesen moves to the on-deck circle to hit for Carroll. So Sparky's making moves, try and get himself a couple of runs at least. Plummer leads off. First at bat in the series. The pitch from McGraw is grounded to Milner. He's going to take it himself, and there's one gone in the top of the 9th. Mets fans going nuts. Dan Dreesen, 21-year-old Dan Dreesen is coming up to pinch hit the lefty-lefty matchup against McGraw. The pitch to Dreesen is hit on the ground to Mian. Felix up with it, throws to Milner, and there's two gone. So Pete Rose becomes the last chance saloon for the Reds. 2 outs, top of the 9th, 5-3 Mets. Rose is 0 for 3. The pitch to Pete. Hey, struck him out, and that ends the ball game with an exclamation mark for the Mets. Let's give you the totals. For the victorious Mets, they scored 5 runs, 10 hits. They could have scored a lot more, and they committed 1 error. The Reds, 3 runs, 5 hits, and they committed 1 error. 2 errors. Winning pitcher in today's game, Jerry Koosman. Tug McGraw gets the save. Ross Grimsley takes the loss for the Reds. So game 4 tomorrow will feature George Stone for the Mets against Fred Norman in another battle of left-handers. It'll be Norman for the Reds, Stone for the Mets tomorrow, game 4. Hope you'll join me. Don't forget to click like and subscribe to my channel and join my Twitter feed. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a wonderful day. So long, everybody.